Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Thirsty Thursday. This is Michelle Leath here from unlockyourpossibility.com. And I want to talk to you today about something called erroneous zones. And you may be confusing those with erogenous zones. Those actually have to do with the sensual areas of your body. But I do think that erroneous zones could possibly have something to do with having a more satisfying sex life. And if you stick through with me till the end, I'll explain what that is. So today, the book that I'm talking to you guys about, like I said, is Your Erroneous Zones by Wayne Dyer. This is a really old book. It's from the 70s. It was recommended to me by my therapist. Yes, I have a therapist. Blasphemy, I know, as a coach. But hey, therapy's good too. Even us coaches need help. What's cool about this book is this is the first book that really showed me concretely that we do have control over our feelings. And I used to hear people say that before, oh, you know, you feel the way you want to, and I honestly thought it was a bunch of bullshit. I thought it was like those, do you remember those paintings or those pictures that were popular like in the 90s that had all the mosaics, and people would say if you looked at them and relaxed your eyes, you could see some 3D image inside of them, and I tried it and thought this is just a hoax, but eventually I actually was able to do it, and I swear there really is a 3D image in those things. It's kind of like that with erroneous zones, and the basic premise of this book is that there's kind of two common themes that he talks about. One is our ability to make choices about our own emotions, and the other is that, you know, to become happier and more effective, it's basically becoming aware of all the different choices that are available to you. This is the same thing as unlocking your possibilities, seeing what's possible for you, because you're the sum total of all your choices. And so it's about really taking charge of those choices and taking charge of your present moments, living in the present and being aware of your thoughts and deciding how you want to respond to them and how you want to guide them. He basically describes that you cannot have a feeling without first having experienced a thought. And if you think about that, that's true. We spend so much time I think a lot of us are taught to believe that stuff happens to us and we just feel some way automatically, like that we have no control over that. Someone says something mean and now our feelings are hurt, or you know, whatever. And it's actually not true. It's only because you have a thought first that tells you, oh, I'm supposed to feel hurt about this, or oh, I feel threatened, or you know, whatever, that's when the feeling comes. So it's really about training yourself to be in control of those physical reactions to thoughts and choosing thoughts that actually enable you to feel better. It doesn't mean you don't feel your feelings. And again, this isn't about, you know, just trying to ignore feelings and push stuff away. It's about recognizing what it's about, processing it, being aware, and not dwelling in it, so that you actually have more possibilities for feeling good in your life and enjoying your life and being happy. And one of the things that I think is cool, he identifies several different erroneous zones. And these are things like self-worth, that when we look to other people to validate our self-worth, it's not really self-worth, that's other worth. So, you know, self-worth is about deciding that you are a valuable and worthy human being, regardless of what other people say, do, think, act, however. And one of the other big erroneous zones that I had was approval seeking. Yes, he has a whole chapter on approval seeking and how we, you know, want to check everything out with somebody else before we make a decision. I used to be the worst at this. I mean, I couldn't make a single decision about anything without asking like 10 friends first. And of course, they all had different opinions, and so then I'm just paralyzed and stuck and not doing anything. So that's a great chapter. And in each chapter, he even goes into detail on like, what are some of the rewards of having this erroneous zone? So you can really see how it's serving you and then how silly that sounds. And then he gives you suggestions for how to kind of replace it with different thought patterns. So it's really, really practical. I learned a lot reading this book. And honestly, you guys, I can't even describe to you how much my worldview, my life view has changed as a result of some of the teachings in this book. So I highly encourage you to check it out. There are a couple of other erroneous zones I'll mention. One of them is like breaking free from the past. And he goes into a lot of detail on how we have these labels and rules and shoulds. Okay, those are what I call the possibility bandits. That these are all things from our past that we use to limit us in our present. And so he gives you some great strategies how to break free from that. and also like procrastination, why we procrastinate, you know, what that's all about, how to break that cycle. So again, it's just an awesome book. It's probably not the lightest read, to be honest with you. I mean, I try to give you guys books that are quick reads. This one's a little more in depth, but I do think it's so worth it. It's so worth the read, especially if you really want to take your life to the next level. Now, I said that I would tell you how this might have something to do with sex, because I know we're all interested in that. And honestly, I think if you start applying some of the principles in this book to your life and to your relationships, you obviously would have better communication, feel better about yourself, feel more confident, and as we know, in a relationship, that actually can stimulate some more intimacy. So I would say get the book, rev up your sex life, be happier, and as always, cheers to your possibilities. If you guys like this series, Thirsty Thursdays, I would just be so honored if you would share this on your Facebook page, let your friends know about it, have them check it out, have them check out my Facebook page, Michelle Leath Possibility Coach. Have them like it, and I will keep this stuff coming. And if you guys have anything that you want to see specifically, just let me know. Send me a Facebook message, let me know what you'd like to see. Okay? Take care, have a great weekend, and I'll see you next week.